Darren's got a thumbs up, so you're understanding how to do that stuff. Jamie's kind of, Maddie? The reason I ask is I want to know if there's any questions that you need me to go over for you so that we could talk about the answer. I'm more than willing to work through any one of those problems that we have on yesterday's assignment. And like I said in my video yesterday, and I think I put it on the email that I sent out too, we're going to carry this lesson over to today, okay, to finish that up. But I also want to talk a little bit about the lesson that was supposed to be done today that we're going to move to tomorrow. Okay, so that's kind of what I want to do today. But let's go back. Any questions? Anybody type in a response that you want me to do for any one of those problems? If you're having trouble with any one of them, there were 30 of them there. I'll give you a moment to think. I'm going to get I forgot to get a dry erase marker here. Hold on. Okay. Here's my thought process, just so that you know, and where we're going with all this. So hopefully by the end of next week, we'll be done with this chapter. Okay. And then I believe the following week will be our last week. All right. So since this is the last chapter of this book that we're doing, we'll be done with all the, really done with all the algebra readiness stuff that we need to really get through. Okay. So we get finished with the chapter next week, do a chapter test, and then the following week, I'll be sending out any kind of emails or anything of any missed assignments that I don't have from you. And so that last week will be totally set up to, that was funny. It was totally set up to just finish up anything that you do not have done. Okay. And so I will probably be sending you individual emails saying, here's what I still need from you. Give me a thumbs up if everybody understands that. Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right. So I'm still asking anybody questions on this that we did. Uh-oh. Yep, plug it. Plug it. Uh-oh. She's losing her toy there. Oh, it's gone. Okay. All right. So I'm assuming you guys understand what we were doing yesterday. So I'm going to move on to what we're going to be doing tomorrow for a lesson. And I'll also send another review, a review video too, so that you can look through it. And I'll do a couple of those problems. But today, we're just going to do a little bit of practice with it. Okay? So the next step that we have to do is do what they call finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let me write those down. So the x-intercept and the y-intercept, okay? So what that means that we have to do is we have to find out what x is or what y is when the other letter is 0. And we've kind of been practicing this a little bit about when we make our t-charts and assign a number to, or assign 0 to x, okay? So here's what happens. If I have a equation that's like this, 7x minus 3y equals 20. If you guys got a piece of paper or something, write that down. 7x minus 3y equals 21. Excuse me, not 20. Okay? Now, they say, or the question is, then find the x-intercept. That says, what is x when our first ordered pair of y is 0? Okay? So we go through and we say, okay, if, oh, no, I want to leave x. If y is 0, what would x be? All right, see if you can solve this. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds here. All right, we're going to substitute in for y 0 because we're finding out what the x-intercept is. Everybody following my logic as I wrote down my steps there. And so my final answer will be x equals 3. Okay, so I could make that ordered pair. The x-intercept ordered pair would be 3, 0. Put that somewhere and hold on to that. 3, 0. Now, let's start over. And then this time, we're going to use the same formula, but now we want to find out what the y-intercept is. So what is y when x is 0? So this time, we're going to put 0 over here where x was. All right, 20 seconds to solve this one. Go. All right, everybody follow my logic on this one, okay? Remember, let me get my finger over here. It's backwards for me. Remember, when we have a subtraction sign, that one just stays connected to that term right here, the 3y, and that creates a negative 3y. So in order to make y positive, we've got to divide by negative 3y on both sides, which makes my answer for that y equals negative 7. Okay, so that ordered pair would be 0, negative 7. Write that off to the side. So we got 3, 0, and then 0, negative 7. The first one is the x-intercept. What is x when y is 0? The second one is a y-intercept. What is y when x is 0? Now, I'm going to erase this part. We can graph this with just 2 points. All right. I'm going to have to need at least 1, 2, 3 positive and 7 negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And so my first point would be 3, 0 right there. My second point would be 0, negative 7. This makes it really easy to graph because both points are going to be right on the axis. One will be on the x-axis and the other one will be on the y-axis. Okay? So then just line them up, create your line, And you got your arrows. My line is terrible. It didn't even go through my second point there. But that's the way you would graph it. Okay? Everybody sees that. We use the ordered pairs that we get from the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let's try another one, okay? And I'm going to give you about a minute, and I want you to try to come up with the ordered pairs for it. Here it comes. 6x plus 4y equals 24. No, excuse me, 48. 6x plus 4y equals 48. See if you can find the ordered pairs for the x-intercept, the ordered pairs for the y-intercept. Remember, when we're finding the x-intercept, we make y 0. When we find the y-intercept, we make x 0. Find the two ordered pairs. Give you a minute. All right. If you think you have your answer, go ahead and text me in the chat or type in the chat what you think your ordered pairs are. All right, Darian, we'll have to look at her again. Oh, you know what? Did you use 24 instead of 48? You need to use 48. Change it to 48. That was partly my fault when I gave you it. It should be 6x plus 4y equals 48, not 24. I think if you would have had 24 in there, or 48 in there, you would have got it. Yes, Jamie. Or excuse me, Maddie. That's you. Yes, Maddie. I need to see who's chatting there. Now, after you've done that, Maddie, see if you could graph that. Now that you got your ordered pairs, graph it. And then if you got your graph on that piece of paper, you can show it to me on your screen and let me know if you got it, and I'll let you know if you got it right or not. I'll put my graph on here too. It's going to be a little bit bigger. You got to have a bigger graph, or your lines have to be really close together. I'm ready. Yep, that looks good. Okay, your graph should look something like this when you get it graphed. Your first point, your x-intercept, is at 8, 0. Your y-intercept is at 0, 12. Okay? Let's do another one. Let me find one that would be maybe a little trickier. Let's take a look here. Hold on. Let me check my notes. Let's try this one. 3x minus 5y equals 15. Yes, 15. Okay? 3x minus 5y equals 15. Give me the x-intercept. Find the y-intercept. Give me the ordered pairs for those. Once again, you can type it into the chat when you got your answer. And once you got your ordered pairs and I say yes, go ahead and graph it then too. Ash, check your y-intercept. You're close. Your x-intercept is right. You're missing something on the y-intercept. Okay, Darian, you need to, you're really close. The numbers are right. You guys got some sign issues. Both of yours on that one, Darian. So it shouldn't be -5, but it should be +5. And then the other one shouldn't be +3, but it should be -3. Okay? So I was close. You're getting things going right. But it should be 5, 0, and then 0, -3. There you go, Jamie. You got it. Now graph that thing. And I flashed up my graph up there too real quick, but you might have missed it. Yeah, that looks right, Darian. Good job. Maddie, correct. Jamie, that looks good. Let's do one more, and then we'll call it good for today. Okay. All right, here it is. 2x minus 3y equals 6. 2x minus 3y equals 6. All right, give me the x-intercept, give me the y-intercept. Maddie, you'll have to try that again. Something went wrong. I don't know what. Can't figure out where that. Darian, yes. That's it. Graph it. Look at Darian's, Maddie, and see where you went wrong.
I think I switched them around.
That's what I think you did too. I think you made the x-intercept the y-intercept in the opposite. Just remember, when we say x-intercept, it says what is x on the axis when y is 0? What is y when x is 0? That's the kind of the most confusing part about this. If you can get those straight, then you're pretty good. Yeah, Darian, it looks a lot like the last one. Good job. Jamie, did you get that answer? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So that's what we're going to do. If you have already tackled that worksheet from yesterday, and if you want to try to, and you're just dying to get tomorrow's assignment done, you can go ahead and do it today, the one that was supposed to be due today. If you want to go ahead and do that, you can. Okay, you know how to do it now. I've seen all of you do it. So it's relatively simple. I think it's a little bit easier than some of the other things when we had to do the t-chart and put in our own numbers and then figure out what y is every single time. It's a little bit easier to do it this way. Okay, they're showing you different kinds of methods to figure out how to create that line. This is another one where you find the x and the y intercept. and it makes the most sense because eventually that line should pass through the x-axis at one point and the y-axis at one point. The y-axis going up and down and the x going across. So this one should be a little bit simpler. The only question is whether you confuse yourself and make x 0 when it should have been the y part that was 0, right? So just think logically when you go through and do these problems. Anybody have any more questions or anything like that? Let's see. Friday, it talks about doing slopes. All right, some more slope stuff. Okay, and I'm not sure. I think that starts to involve maybe working with equalities and inequalities. Okay, yep. No, it'll give us more of an idea of being able to figure out what a slope is. Okay, and we're going to learn about what they call the slope intercept form. All right, and that's kind of the one we've been using when we make those t-charts to do. We've been putting everything in that slope intercept form. Okay, I think that's it, unless you guys have any more questions about that. Section 5 is the last section in this chapter, which means next week we'll do a couple of reviews and then I'll send a test out. Okay? All right, everybody hang in there. All right, keep strong, get all the other stuff that you're doing done. Okay, Maddie, thanks for the science. You're doing a good job of getting my science in for me. Good job there. All right, I've been seeing that. Okay, the rest of you, keep it up. All right, don't lose the faith here. We're almost done. Okay, then you can have your summer. Okay, well, there's nothing else. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.